composition now is basically a bunch of smart people who don't have any friends writing coded love notes to one another. Just, if you get it, you get it, and it's great to get it. And if you don't get it, you have no idea what's happening, and it means nothing to you. And that's not the way that any cultural artifact should be. It's not the way that art should work. I am David Roberts, and I am the co-founder and director of Second Cycle Ensemble. Second Cycle is a group that focuses on live performance of electronic music with an acoustic component. The problem for composers who are trying to create new art, new pieces of culture, is that where do you go? How do you engage with people if you want to get a lot of people to understand your message? If you want to say something to a lot of people, how do you do that? A really easy way to get to people is to find something that they already understand and then bring that into what you do. And one thing that we came up with a lot was that a common thread was looking back at these retro games that were a part of a lot of our childhoods. And whether we knew it or not then, there was this style of music which is pretty well solidified. But it's a very unified body of work, and we all get it because we spent hours and hours and hours of our childhood listening to that. And that's something that doesn't exist in a lot of musical dialogue anymore. So something like this ended up being a really obvious jumping off point for us to say, let's grab onto 8-bit music. Let's call it 8-bit music as just a way to make it even a little smaller, and we'll do that. We'll get a bunch of people who we think would be good for this. And, for this first, it was mostly colleagues and friends just calling up, emailing people and saying, hey, I think you'd be good for this project. And pretty much everyone reacted enthusiastically. Fewer of them actually turned out pieces for it. But most of them were very enthusiastic to begin with. We have just zero budget. And hopefully in the future that will not be the case, but right now it is the case. So we needed a space that was either very cheap or basically free, and I found that the company that I work for has a classroom space they use very infrequently, and I thought, well, that's great. It's small. I could jam 40 people in there at a pinch. They said, sure, we're not using it. Go for it. We'll give it to you for free. Wonderful. We booked it and set it all up. Got composers to commit to writing pieces for it. Most of them followed through, and went from there. Everything queued up, and then just arrange the space. That's about it, right?
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's only 5. We got 3 more hours to do that.
Board is just like
It's a distraction.
no, it's awesome.
In the meantime, throw a fucking show. It was pretty much the way I envisioned it. The quality of the music was actually much higher than I expected it to be. I liked the pieces. I liked what people sent. I had a really good time. And I thought it was a successful show, except that we just completely bombed on the advertising end. We had a grand plan and we had deadlines for when to do this. When do we get our online advertising going? And things came up. People were out of the country, money got tight, things changed, and none of that happened. But you have to do it anyway, because that's the point. Part of it was just a proof of concept to say we can do this. And quite frankly, we put the concert on. We played it. We had local beer from a great local brewery. We overcame stupid obstacles. We put the whole thing on and we did it. We could have had 40 people there, and they would have had a fun time. We did not have 40 people there. We had one person there who was not associated with the event in any way. I think he had a good time. If you just go home in defeat, then maybe you're not cut out for it. And I think it shows that, hey, fuck it, we can do this. It's very strange that we cling on to this purposefully segregated way of dealing with culture in Western art music in this country, and I want to do my tiny, meaningless part to try to break that down.